thrilled to be here today to discuss the upcoming Dirt Bowl basketball tournament at our own Shawnee Park. And we're celebrating a really special anniversary this year. This will be the 50th anniversary of the Dirt Bowl, and it's going to be a great tournament and a great party as well. 50 is quite the milestone, don't you all think back here? I mean, well, let's come on. So let's think back 50 years ago. It all started in Algonquin Park when two young Metro Parks and Recreation supervisors, Janice Carter Miller and Ben Watkins, who are here today, and they identified a need in the community. So let's go back to 1969 in the history of our country and our city. It was a difficult time for a lot of people in America and in Louisville, and particularly our African American community. There was a lot of unrest, housing issues, public education, busing. City residents had just lived through, all of America, all of the world, had just lived through the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy, and the civil unrest in the Parkland neighborhood had taken place. The Vietnam War was raging, dividing our country, and so we had a choice. We could, kind of go down a vortex of negativity or say, what is it that we can do to lift our city up? So Janice and Ben got together and decided they'd start a tournament to help give the community something positive, which could bring us all together. And whether it was 50 years ago or 50 minutes ago, one thing that Louisvillians in all corners of our city could agree on is that we all love basketball. And that was as true 50 years ago as it is today. Think about some of the athletes and the names who appeared in the tournament over the years. Ron King. Is Ron with us? I thought Ron might be showing up today. Well, Ron, fortunately, is one of our Metro Parks employees as well. He was on the first team to win, and we look forward to seeing him around. And Ron had also just celebrated recently here the 50th anniversary of his Central High School squad winning the Kentucky High School State Championship. Ron and his skills have been celebrated in two states. He's not just in the Kentucky Hall of Fame, Athletic Hall of Fame, he's also in the Florida Athletic Hall of Fame because of the outstanding work that he did as the star for Florida State University. In 1972, he was one game away from winning the national championship, and it took John Wooden and Bill Walton to stop him. So when you see Ron, be sure to give him the props. It's 50 years ago, but you still, almost 50 years ago, but you still love to relive those days. Other players, Artis Gilmore. Were you there, Cornell, when Artis was playing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was his fro as big back then?
Yeah, Artis Gilmore, Clem Haskins, Western Kentucky's basketball.
This Cornell Bradley is going to speak a little bit, but when the names of the people that stick out to you.
Clem Haskins, Jim McDaniels, Jerome Perry, Bill Bradley. Bill Bradley's my cousin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
Both of us have similarities,
Yes, you do. That came to mind right away.
Jump shot shooters, But anyway, and then you had a lot of Dallas Thornton.
Yeah. Phil Bond.
Big Ben Watkins back here.
Yeah. Ben was an organizer and a player.
Yes, sir. Ben's buddy, was it Glenn?
Glenn Montgomery.
Yeah, I call him Mr. Crip because Glenn don't miss no crips. I don't care how hard you foul him. He's not gonna miss a crip. Yeah.
How about Griff? Was
Griff was something, but when you talk about Darryl Griffith, it's hard to talk about Griffith. Don't bring up Bobby Turner.
Yeah.
Both of them were two outstanding basketball players. Griff was flashy. Bobby Turner was a workhorse.
Yeah.
He got his points the hard way.
Yeah. How about Manuel Forrest?
Manuel always had a nice jumper. Manuel played on one of my teams. That was the worst team I ever had.
Was it coaching? You think was the problem?
No.
How about Derek Anderson?
Oh man, Derek. I always knew he was going to be good because he could play every position well, and he was great.
Rondo?
Rondo, I remember. I think he played middle school or high school. I don't think Rondo. I don't remember him playing the open division. But I thought that he would leaving college early, but I was wrong.
And what's with Montrezl Harrell showing up?
Oh, he's great. You know, Montreal he come down, man. He played hard.
Yeah, right.
Did a few weak dunks, but
Well, he was a guy that could easily have said, I don't want to play, I don't want
Right.
to get injured, but he loved the
yeah,
game.
he came down, and we appreciate all University of Louisville basketball players
Yeah.
who play.
Yeah.
And also, I see some people from the championship just walked in. There's Domino, and that young man right there got good hair, man.
Good hair.
Oh, man.
Is good hair going to be able to hit the basket the way
I
what do you
can't
think?
stand him, man.
Huh? Come on up here, fellas.
He got good
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
You know what else about him, Murray?
No, he's dangerous.
He light skinned with good hair, man.
All right, we'll give you a little dedicated time in a moment. I just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. Well, so when you think about all these names that played in the Dirt Bowl, it has been incredible. And if you want to have a good time and feel what our community is all about, you need to come down to the Dirt Bowl this summer here at Shawnee Park. So 50 years later, here we are. And as with all important institutions, there was a period of transition with the Dirt Bowl. For several years, prior to when the tournament returned in 2012, it suffered from a bit of dormancy. When I took office, I was saying, we got to get this Dirt Bowl going again. It means a lot to the community, and it means a lot to the West Louisville community as well. So I asked those who knew what it would take to get the Dirt Bowl going again to come together so we could reflect on the history, but also say, okay, how can we make the Dirt Bowl even better today? So the early conversations back then, those people included Janice and Ben, Ish Burks, Bill Summers, Neil Robinson, Cornell Bradley, Councilman Sherry Bryan Hamilton and her aide Myra, Chief Conrad, Tommy Gibson, Marty Storch, Joseph Scott, and several others. And we said, okay, how can we get the tournament going again? Because it's a lot more than a basketball tournament if you know anything about our city, in particular if you know anything about West Louisville. It's a social event, it's a cultural event, and it is a major competition. I'll put our Dirt Bowl up against any city's summer basketball league in this entire country, and it's just a good time. So the event came back, and every year we've improved and improved and improved. 2 years ago was a big step for improvement with us. With the money allocated from MSD through the Shawnee Basin Project, we made a major upgrade to the basketball courts and the surroundings, new surfaces, fiberglass backboards, actual scoreboard with a clock, bike racks to establish security around the court, and new team benches as well. So we can bring anybody in the world to a summer basketball league, and they see this, they say Louisville's got game. The courts were renovated by Joseph Buckets Scott. They call him Buckets because he used to be able to hit some buckets. In his mind, he still can. And we've got kind of a support league of older people up here right now, so we support you, Buckets, in your endeavor. And he still has game when you put him in the 60 and over league. Is that right? Is it 60 and over now?
Yes, sir.
But he's good, and he'd school me out there, so I appreciate Bucket Scott and what he's done. Proud West Ender, Dirt Bowl player. He's kind of taken it to another level now as an entrepreneur with the work that he does on resurfacing around the community, paving projects, sidewalk projects. And what I'm really proud of what you do, Joseph, is he gives second chances to young men after some struggles. And he's showed dozens of them a way forward. So you've been a great citizen for us as well, and I really appreciate that. Yes, sir. Good job. Now, some people say the Dirt Bowl. Did they play on dirt? Why did they call it the Dirt Bowl? No, the Dirt Bowl got its name originally due to the dirt that lined the courts in Algonquin Park. Now, as you look at the courts at Shawnee Park, the Dirt Bowl has a facility that we proudly call home, and that befits its status as the top-level event, summer event, in the great city of Louisville. Now, fittingly, the courts have been dedicated to Cornell, Janice, and Ben for their efforts throughout the years. And I think it's really cool when you go there and you see their names on the court. They're all still very young and very vibrant, so we can enjoy the legacy that they've given us, and then also teach some of our young people, you know, that, look, this is what you all need to do as well, so that you can be acknowledged like this as your life goes on as well. You're going to hear from a few people this year who are making this 50th year of Dirt Bowl one to remember, and Janice is here to describe what's going to take place in addition to the tournament, including a sign-up event next Sunday at Virtue in Old Louisville. And then you're going to hear from Cornell, who always has something to say, regardless of what the topic is, and he's going to tell us what's happening this year. And then Rayvon Churchill, another one of the voices of the Dirt Bowl, is going to be the tournament administrator. He's an employee of Metro Parks. We appreciate you, Rayvon. And he's following in the footsteps of Janice, Ben, and Cornell. He's going to talk about his perspective on what's taking place. And then Reverend Vincent James, our Chief of Community Building, will tell us what he believes the Dirt Bowl means to this community. So let's get it on here, and let's start with the fantastic, talented Janice Carter.
Cheryl, Ben, join me there. Ms. Cheryl Ford is the CEO and owner of Black Butterfly Strong, Inc., and Mr. Ben Watkins is my cohort. We are part of the 50th Dirt Bowl Celebration Committee, and we've got a couple of events planned for this year. We're starting Father's Day with a Father's Day tip-off Sunday. We're going to have an exhibition game, slam dunk, and a three-point contest. But one of the main things about that day, we're going to start it off with a groundbreaking ceremony for a historical landmark to be placed in Algonquin Park, courtesy of our wonderful councilwoman, Keisha Dorsey of District 3. And we're going to do a groundbreaking for that. The plaque itself won't be ready, but we're going to do a groundbreaking. But we just want people to bring their dads and come out and watch some basketball. See, you know, we've got smack talkers and things of that nature that will be there for the slam dunk and the three-point contest. Park Duval Health Center will be there to do some health screening for us. We're just going to be celebrating. We're going to have banners. We have a banner campaign going on. The banner campaign is 15 banners that will be placed in Algonquin Park and Shawnee Park with the faces of some of those people that they just mentioned during the whole summer. This is a continuing celebration from June to the end of August. And in August, we will have a final celebration event at the Fraser, which will be the red carpet reception and banquet and award ceremony. That will be at the Fraser Museum, where we will also, as a part of the reception, be able to view the Olmsted exhibit that's there that has a section in it that's dedicated to the Dirt Bowl. So I've invited all the shot callers, big ballers, to come out and join us and support us. And we'd like to invite the whole community to do the same thing, because this is something we want this to continue. I don't know about 50 years, if I'll be in 50 years, but we want the Dirt Bowl. If it existed this long, there's no reason that it cannot continue. And we hope that it has brought pride to the city of Louisville. We want to thank some of our people that have helped us. Organizations, the Louisville Sports Commission has helped us. Wave 3 is our media sponsor. And naturally, Black Butterfly Strong. My sister up here. Did I leave anything out? We want you all to join us. So that's June 16th, Father's Day is the first event. Algonquin Park, not Shawnee Park. Algonquin Park is the first park where we had the Dirt Bowl. So that's going to be the kickoff event. The closing event will be August 25th, is a Sunday, at the Fraser Museum. Will be the red carpet reception, banquet, and award ceremony. Please come out, and we'd love to have you, and thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Janice and Ben. I mean, it goes to show you, too, you know, look, if you work for Louisville Metro, you can make a heck of a difference. And I mean, who knew what you guys did 50 years ago was going to lead to this legendary tournament now that's known all over the country. It's been covered by ESPN. It's incredible. So, I mean, I think that's a real point of inspiration for everybody that works for Metro, including Keisha Dorsey, who I just thank you for being here, Madam Councilwoman, and thank you for the support on this effort. So you'll love it. Also, we have to hear from the voice of the Dirt Bowl. Cornell Bradley has been a consistent fixture of the Dirt Bowl for quite some time. The whole history of the Dirt Bowl, and of course he entertains and informs in his own unique way. So please welcome to the podium Cornell Bradley.
Well, since it's my turn to speak on the mic, I had to start like this. Let's give it a test. Testing, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have power. With that thought in mind, a lot of you don't know is that this is the 50th year of the Dirt Bowl. It's my 40th. And when you think back at 40 years of being in Shawnee Park, it's been a very enjoyment. I started off as a referee, and you'd be surprised the number of times somebody's always said, I'm gonna hit you in the mouth. And I was answering them and said, hit who in the mouth? Because I didn't think they really wanted to hit me in the mouth. But there was, that kind of thing happens when you referee. And if you think you want to be a referee your friends. Nobody will curse you out like your friend will about a missed call or a no call. But when I look back at the Dirt Bowl and I think about all the good times I've had, and truthfully, how popular that tournament has made me, it's unreal. It's done a lot for me, and I, in hand, feel out and try to do as much for it as possible. The thing that I like most of all is that I like to produce young people. I watch them dance, and we've had groups of people, and I encourage that if you got a group of somebody out there, the girls that like to dance, come on down to the park and dance. And I love gospel music. I used to sing. I said I used to sing. But today, that voice is not there. But again, that's something else that I look to try to produce every Sunday. This year, I'm working hard at it. But overall, I'd like to thank the mayor for the job he's provided us with the Louisville Police Department. And I want to say that they have done a great job. Let's give the police a hand, please. And I'm going to take my seat, but I just want to say I'd like to thank God for my longevity with this tournament. And I definitely will have to thank a bunch of people, especially some of us that look down on them, but they were all my friends, and there were a lot of people from the projects. Growing up poor, we feel that we were all the same. And we never talked about them when we was kids coming up. It just seemed that later on, we looked down on them. But I want to say that I ain't got nothing but love, especially Beecher Terrace, no question, Southwick, and all those areas up in the East End, because they provide me a pass that is like no other. And with that thought in mind, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you, Cornell. He brings so much to the Dirt Bowl, not just his voice, obviously, but his organizational skills and his deep, deep, deep love for all Louisville, Dirt Bowl, West Louisville, and it just comes through every time you're out there. So I appreciate you helping all the way that you've brought the Dirt Bowl back. Rayvon Churchill. Boy, if you want to talk to somebody that's knowledgeable about basketball, in Louisville at all levels, from grade school, high school, college on up, Rayvon's your man. And the way he brings that forward when he's on the mic at the Dirt Bowl is truly incredible. And the complementary nature of Cornell and Rayvon on the mic is really something to see. And it's just another great aspect of the Dirt Bowl. But Rayvon's also taken on administrative responsibilities this year with the park. So please welcome Rayvon Churchill.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. First of all, thank you, and I appreciate all the media for coming out. Without the media, It's hard to get the word out. So just through social media that we do and word of mouth, it's not as easy as you may think. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming out. And also, I want to take this time out to thank Dana. Dana, he's been a big part of what we do. Margaret has been a big part of what we do. Chief James. We've been working on this since October. We have monthly meetings, and we've been trying to get this thing organized because we understand the importance of this being the 50th anniversary. Like, we've done some research, and not many other basketball tournaments, not only in the state or the region, but not many in the country have the prestige that we have. And like Mayor Fisher was saying, with the water basin and what they've done with the park, it's a brand new park, and it's really good to come down and see some good quality basketball. Now, the history of the basketball tournament, like Mayor Fisher said, I did some research. I was part of a book called I Said Bang, and if you haven't been down to the park, I Said Bang is the signature call from Cornell. So it was a book that we did, and it sold several thousand books. It's actually on a lot of different coffee tables throughout the city of Louisville. Actually, I sold one to somebody that was in Afghanistan. So shout out to everybody that was involved with that book. It was a 4-year process, the Louisville Story Program with Darcy Thompson. They helped us do that, and we did a lot of research, and that was how I was able to learn so much about the Dirt Bowl and its history. Now, I wasn't a very good player. I was a marginal player, although the team that I did play for, we went to 4 consecutive Final Fours. I do have the runner-up trophies at my house, and I would keep those runner-up trophies like they're gold for the rest of my life. And I just have them because I just had to have those. This is even before I was even involved in any type of administrative work. And the only reason I'm involved with administration is because Marty Storch kind of looked at me and was like, hey, I think you can be a part of what we do. So Tommy Gibson hasn't got a shout out. So we are on the streets, we're walking, we're doing a lot of groundwork, social media, and also, come on up here real quick, guys. So this is Tyler St. Julian, this is Dominique. These two guys are the 2018 Dirt Bowl champions. Round of applause for them. I reached out to these guys. They said they were going to be here, so we want to acknowledge you. Thank you for coming out, taking a part of your day. And like we talked about, this has to go on for many, many more years. So I know that you just had a kid, right? And you bring your kid to the Dirt Bowl. So one thing that's important to me is I met my father at the Dirt Bowl, and I take my son to the Dirt Bowl, and my grandson goes to the Dirt Bowl with me. So that's 4 generations. So if you and your son and your grandson continue this on, we'll be at the 75th anniversary before you know it. So I look forward to you two guys telling stories about what you remember from the Dirt Bowl, because it's going to have to go on between you guys and the generations after you to continue the stories and the legacy and the tradition of the great and wonderful Dirt Bowl, which starts June 22nd in the renovated Shawnee Park on Cornell Bradley Court. And it also has Miss Janice and Mr. Ben. Thank you to Joe for doing a wonderful thing at the court. So make sure you come out, tell your whole family. It's a family atmosphere. It's not just for basketball. If you want to see the latest shoes, the latest fashion, the latest hairstyles, the best cars in the city, if you want to get some really good food, if you want to come down and see good hair and Damo, make sure you come down, check out Cornell. As soon as you come around the curve, you'll hear him saying, I said bang, or that's two, or whatever it is that you hear him say. Maybe I'll get on the mic too a little bit, but just make sure you come down, bring your entire family, no matter what neighborhood you're from in Louisville. It's in the West End, but this is a Louisville event. So make sure you tell everybody and come down June 22nd. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Algonquin on Father's Day and celebrate with Miss Janice. All right, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Rayvon. Thanks, fellas, for coming, too. Ben, you got to have a lot of thoughts going through your mind here. 50 years ago, you've heard what's going on the stage up here. Why don't you come on up and share some reflections with us? Ben Watkins.
Thank you, Mayor. 50 years ago, there was a lot of community unrest in Louisville, Kentucky. Janice and I were both supervisors at the Park and Recreations. We said, well, let's figure out something we can do to maybe bring people together. So we formed what we call a Dirt Bowl basketball team. It consisted of maybe 10 players per team, which would cover maybe 6 teams at that time. We had no idea that it would grow to this level and become one of the most fantastic games that is played in Louisville, Kentucky. We had no idea that we would bring communities together, as such as Southwick, the West End, South End, East End, people from all over came to the Dirt Bowl. It wasn't a black dirt ball team. It was a community dirt ball basketball team. There was a lot of white people that played. There were a lot of different organizations that played. Back then, we could have pro players to play, high school players to play. There was no limit, and there were some fantastic games. But to see it now, after 50 years, is just off the chain. I mean, there's so many teams and people involved in the Dirt Bowl that we really can't say enough thanks to the city of Louisville.
You know, one of the things, if you've never had an opportunity to be able to attend, I wanted to invite our entire community, because one of the powerful things that happens in the Dirt Bowl is something that you can't transport anywhere else. It's the spirit of family, of love, of individuals coming together and working together. And that was the original intent for the Dirt Bowl to be in existence, to bring people together. That was 50 years ago, and it is still today. And people who may have never even had an experience with Shawnee Park or West Louisville begin to experience a different kind of understanding of what community was about when you came to the Dirt Bowl. Seeing the families, seeing the friends, and seeing the competition, and seeing all the things that was happening. And Metro Parks has been a part of that from day one for the Dirt Bowl with Janice and Ben. And I'd like to thank the Parks management team. Dana Kessler and his team has done an incredible job in sustaining it, and as well as the staff. And I'm excited and thrilled to think about Rayvon and the work that he's done. Thinking about carrying the torch that has been handed to him, and many others that will continue to carry it on, that this will be a legacy for Louisville that will go on until time ends because of what is embedded in the people. We also want to thank LMPD, who are some critical partners in the process of ensuring that the games go off and the community feels safe, and everyone knows that this is a family event. And the support. Major Brown, glad to see you here today, and we're excited about the partnership that continues to go on, and we realize that success doesn't happen with an individual act. It happens as a result of people coming together, all shapes, forms, and sizes, different races, nationality, to have an opportunity to come together to say we want to accomplish this. A few years back, we made some big improvements that the mayor had talked about. A brand new basketball court was dedicated. And we want to thank again Joe Scott, who was a big part of that in putting all that together. But when we really think about community, and we think about the power of community, and we think about the different partners like Olmsted Parks Conservancy, when we think about the partners that have continued to come together to improve our park system, it does take a community to improve our park system. And one of the things we have in Louisville is that we have owners in the community who want to invest back in the very things they enjoy the most. That outdoors, where they're experiencing that vitamin N that the mayor talks about, where people are able to experience one another. We think about what is taking place in Chickasaw through Metro Parks and the Olmsted Conservancy coming together to replenish the tennis courts and ensuring that the tournament will go off this month. And we're excited about those type of things. And many community leaders coming together in that effort to make sure that that tournament would take place. You know, when we think about Shawnee and Chickasaw Parks, they're very integral parts of our community. It's so awesome when you think about these beautiful parks, the parks part of the Olmsted design park system featuring all the trees and the nature and all of that coming together. We're just simply excited about what's coming forth. We're honored to be able to be a part of the 50th anniversary celebration, and we had an incredible team that was meeting monthly, as Rayvon shared. Janice talking about the events and planning all that out. We used to just get excited when she would come to the meeting because she would have new ideas about what was going to happen and what would take place. And the voice, Cornell, giving his wisdom and insight, and Rayvon organizing and putting together things as it relates to operation. It was a team effort. And it's going to be so exciting as we move forward. When I think about Tommy and his vision and willingness to be able to be a team player and open it up and willing to go to whatever lengths he needed to ensure that we have an incredible 50th celebration. So again, I always want to encourage all of our community to come and experience the Dirt Bowl this year for the 50th celebration.